So good day, Mama. So we are the group one, and I am with Abilong Nicole and Alma Muntag. So our topic is about the role of economics in business. So what is economics? So economics is the science that deals with the study of scarce resources that society needs to exist. So its production, its distribution, and reuse. These resources can be goods like first clothing, food, technology, housing, or etc. It can also be health, education, water, electricity, and entertainment. So, roles of economics in business. So, three main contributions of economics theory to business economics according to Baumol. So, according to him, first is analytical models. So, to recognize the structures of managerial problems, eliminate minor details, and concentrate on main issue. So, second is ascertaining relevant variables and specifying the data. So, even if the models are not directly applicable, so they enhance capabilities of business analyst. So, the last one is the economic theories after conceptual clarity to avoid or offer conceptual clarity to avoid conceptual pitfalls. So it provides consistency to business analysis. So we are down to economic concepts. So there are four Ks of economic concepts: the scarcity, the supply and demands, the cost and benefits, and the incentives. So, what is scarcity? So, scarcity or kakulangan or shortage or less of supply, etc. So, it is when the supply of a resource cannot meet the demand. So, it is a basic economic problems that gap between limited resources and the theoretically limitless ones. So, next is the demand and supply. So, as the price goes up, consumers demand less of it and more supply enters the market. So if the price is too high, the supply will be greater than or simply the following law of supply, which states that the higher the price, the higher the quantity, while the law of demand states that the higher the price, the lower the demand. Okay, next, cost. So we all know that the costs are the monetary value of goods and services that producers and consumers purchases. So while the benefits, a payment or gift as one made to help someone or given by an employer, an insurance company or a public agency, like for example, pay praises, so meal breaks, paid vacation, health insurance, and etc. So next is the last one, which is the incentive. So an incentive is anything that motivates a person to do something good. So like for example, when a person did something good, he or she receives praises, bonuses, career advancement, earning extra vacation days, gift certificates, or etc. according to the company. So that's all. Thank you. And Nicole Abilong will continue.
Production Possibility Score. A production possibility score in economics measures the maximum output of two goods using a fixed amount of input. The input is any combination of the four factors of production: natural resources, including land, labor, capital goods, and entrepreneurship. The production possibility score measures the trade-off between producing one good versus another. Each point of the chord shows how much of each good will be produced when resources shift to making more one, one good and less of another. In the production possibility score is a visualization that demonstrates the most efficient production of a pair of goods. Each point of the curve shows how much of each good will be produced when resources shift to making more of one good less of another. The production possibilities curve measures the trade-off between production one good versus another. For example, say an economy produces 20,000 orange and 120,000 apples. On the chart, that's point B. If wants to produce more orange, it must produce fewer apples on the chart. The point C shows if it produces 45,000 orange and it can only produce 85,000 apples. By describing this trade-off, the curve demonstrates the concept of opportunity cost. Making more of one good will cost society the opportunity of making more of one another good. Opportunity cost. The opportunity cost of a particular activity option is the loss of value or benefit that would be incurred by engaging in that activity relative to engaging in an alternative activity offering a higher return in a value or benefit. The value of the next highest valued alternative use of the resource. For example, you spend time, money going to movie, you cannot spend time at home reading a book, and you can spend the money on something else, or for example like mubakasyon. Yes, that's all. Thank you.
So the assigned topic that given to me is the economic efficiency. When you talk economic efficiency, it means when all the goods and factors are production in an economy are distributed or allocated to their most valuable uses and waste is eliminated or minimized. Understanding economic efficiency as economic efficiency implies an economic state in which every resource is optimally allocated to serve each individual or entity in the best way while minimizing waste and efficiency. When an economy is economically efficient, any changes made to assess or entity would harm another. In terms of production, goods are produced at their lowest possible cost, as are the variable inputs of production. The next one is economy efficiency and scarcity. The principles of economic efficiency are based on the concept that resources are scarce. Therefore, there are not sufficient resources to ensure that all aspects of economy function at their highest capacity at all times. Instead, scarce resources must be distributed to meet the needs of the economy in an ideal way while also limiting the amount of waste produced. The ideal state is related to the welfare of the population with peak efficiency, also resulting in the highest level of welfare possible based on the resources available. And when you talk about comparative advantage, it means economic theory, first developed by the 19th century British economist David Ricardo. The attributed that costs and benefits of international trade to the differences in the relative opportunity cost in terms of other goods given up of producing the same commodities among countries. In Ricardo's theory, which was based on the labor theory of value, and effect making labor the only factor of production. The fact that one country could produce everything more efficiently than another was not an argument against international trade, and theory of comparative advantage provides a strong argument in favor of free trade and specialization among countries. The issue becomes much more complex. However, as the theory simplifying assumptions, a single factor of production A given stock and resources, full employment, and a balanced exchange of goods are replaced by more realistic parameters. And that's all, Mom. In behalf of my group mates, Christopher Arsenal and Nicole Abelong, this is Alma A. Montag from BSHM 3B.